Good morning and welcome. My name is Magnus Estin and I work as I'm an independent. And if you need a title, let's call me an agile coach or a teacher or a mentor or, yeah, someone that really hard search very hard for answers to solve the problems. And today, if you want to stay with me, let's unpack a little bit about the problems with modern organizations and companies, as far as I'm concerned. And from a growing collective of coworkers like me, there's a really big problem that we need to talk about more. The dysfunctions and of the very structures and the very paradigm which we operate modern companies. I find it so important to me, it's almost overpowering. I woke up extremely tired, and then I had a conversation with Dirk Holste, a good friend of mine, also an agile coach, and we talked about, I guess, leadership. We both have an experience as being line managers or first line managers and as scrum masters or agile coaches. So we've seen it from kind of both views, right? Both being the worker, the employee, and the management. And you know what? What emerges is that we all sit as victims of the same problem. It's not the problem that the managers are evil. It's not a problem that the employers do not understand. It's a problem of something else, and what might that be? There are some tentative answers here. One of a very fundamental flaw in the idea of how you can organize people to work complex problems in a VUCA world. The very models from the history of mass productions are very bad. They're too completely irrelevant to be purposeful for organizing people in modern work. And yet, the prevailing idea seems to be like, hey, let's build money-generating machines by utilizing management principles that are old and for a very different context. And okay, people recognize that. So there's a big search for, agile. Do agile transformations. And yeah, please. But it's a little bit like saying that, we want to do sports. We have found that sports is really interesting. And so you look for someone that will help you with your sports transformation. Now, agile is just very broadly defined, very vaguely defined. And as such, it's trying to address the problems, right? It's trying to open up and find better constructs so that highly educated people can work more fluently and purposefully on the opportunities and problems of the modern world. However, it's a bit like saying that, we just want to be great at sports. But it's huge variance across that field. So it's a better question to start asking, what is the game we are playing really? Is it football or basketball? That's kind of an analogy, right? So uh, deep dive into the principles that is like maybe motivating to the thing that became the Agile Manifesto, which is pretty dated by now, arguably. The complex world, and just coming to conclusions on, you will, with a bit of system thinking, realize that we need to govern our companies differently. No longer can we drive them by having economic targets for a couple of hundred peoples that they shall reach. I'm not saying that money is not important, not at all, but it's a very unwise method of reaching the thing you want, the value creation. It doesn't work. It will induce stress into people. It will create structures that create managers and workers that are unfit for purpose. They do not embrace uncertainty. Instead, we can simplify it, called command and control. And so, my friend, if you're a manager or a worker, maybe we need to talk. These things are very possible to understand deeply, but it will take, a bit of time, a couple of hours maybe, or just 8 conversations. And then new opportunities arises. It does. So I'm still in search of finding this perfect language on how to start shift modern workplaces, the ones that are trying to do some somewhat complex work in an uncertain world. Because quite frankly, we need better workplaces because people are so creative. We are so attuned to be just, we can come together and do wonderful collaboration in creating value. And most modern systems are not promoting it, they are restricting it. Even those that say that we are like agile or adaptive even. So if this triggers your thoughts, please do connect with me and let's collaborate on understanding what is and what might be based on science and system thinking, neuroscience even. It's not a value, it's science. The principles of scientific management can still be the title for the thing we want to search for. 111 years after Taylor, we still need to search for the principles of scientific management. But now we need to do that for the modern world with complex work, with highly educated uh, employees, and an ever changing world. And those principles, my friend, are very different. Thanks for listening.